everyone, and welcome to the draft recap for the 2021-2022 season. I bet you guys thought you weren't going to have a draft recap. We waited until the last minute. But, of course, Joel Gibson and I, who's joining me today, always come through with these videos. We're ready to go here. You're going to get two videos. You're going to get one video for draft recap and one video for week one. It's going to be great. We are days away from the NBA starting. Joel Gibson, I will say the champ Joel Gibson again. I apologize for that. With that being said, some off-season moves as well. So I do have the list in front of me. If they're on another team, I'm going to be able to note that as well. I actually prepared a little bit for this draft recap. Outside of that, let's just get right into it. We'll start with the first round. The first four picks went to Cody. Cody went with Paul George, Michael Porter Jr., Ayton, and Rashad Holmes. Joel, do you
argue any of those?
Huh?
Hard to argue any of those.
I know. I was just gonna say I'm finding it difficult because I'm like looking down the list as well at anybody that I probably would have taken above those. I'm not sure. I don't blame any of those. I don't think they're bad. Drew Holiday went next to Eric, and then back to Cody for Zinger. Zinger, a big risk reward for me with Cody, but he has Luka, so he has a little bit more protection from an injury risk with Zinger, so I don't even have a problem with that, really. It's just going to be whether these guys work out or not. Like, is Michael Porter Jr. everything that everybody's saying? I don't think so, but there are a lot of people out there that do. Ayton, can he take that step forward? And Holmes, can he also take a step forward? He's more consistency, but I don't hate that pick. Like I said, I think Cody did a good job. Drew Holiday for Eric, I thought was also really good, combining him with Lillard and his keepers. I like that one. Although I will say for Eric, I am shocked he did not go with Jimmy Butler. And we'll get to that. But Jimmy Butler was on the table, and if he gets the same steals number from last year, it's going to be extremely good for him.
Those are the picks that I wonder if Cody will regret, is if he should have taken Holiday and Butler, paired those with Paul George.
Exactly. Just own steals. Just 100% lockdown steals. Nobody touches them. Field goal percentage.
Do you want Jimmy Butler's injury risk, or do you want Michael Porter and his back as an injury risk? I think it's really kind of, it's hard to say.
It's really tough. And also with Michael Porter Jr. not being vaccinated as well. We're still going to talk about that. He may miss some random games, and I did not look at the Denver season or their schedule at the end of our season. If that comes into play, that could be a problem for Cody.
It could be.
Next, Steven went with DeMar DeRozan. Again, I don't know why Jimmy Butler wasn't picked here. DeRozan was a little bit of a reach for me. I'm not saying that he can't put up this value. I'm just saying there are a lot of question marks for me on where that value's going in Chicago. It's the same reason why when Doug took LaVine, I was a little shocked as well. And I told him that as well when he took LaVine. LaVine was great for you last year, correct?
He was amazing last year.
Absolutely. But it's one of those things where you've got Ball, you've got DeRozan, you've got Vooch. Patrick Williams is going to be that 4. He's not much of a contributor one way or the other, just defensively. But does DeRozan take a little bit more ball handling away? Do they try to run like Ball DeRozan as the more point guards and have LaVine play off ball? That could really lower his usage. I'm just I'm just up in the air about the Chicago, where their fantasy stats are going. So for me, that was a little early on DeRozan.
So I'm kind of liking the Bulls a little bit. I think Lonzo's a lower usage point guard than people think he is. He doesn't really hold on to the ball. He likes to just move it up court.
Right.
And if his three ball is proven, if Patrick Williams can shoot the three ball, I think there's enough usage for Levine and for Vus and for DeRozan for them all to be pretty good. But yeah, Steven might have taken him at his peak value instead of some other guys that might have just been better at this spot.
Right. I'm next, and I get Jimmy Butler. I can't believe everybody let me reunite with Jimmy Butler at the 8th spot. I said that was a pipe dream. You and I had a conversation when you came down that I said there's no possible way Jimmy Butler falls to me. And you said no. So he did, and he's on my team again. And the last time Jimmy Butler was on my team, I won the championship. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm a big believer in the Big Face Coffee line. I will be getting some apparel this year. I love Jimmy Butler being on my team again. I get to watch a ton of Heat. Kyle Lowry gets to take some pressure off of Jimmy Butler as far as the ball handling and stuff like that. We have a point guard that can shoot, and Jimmy can just eat on the defensive side. I've heard people say that steal number might come down and lower his value. I think it might go up. I think he might be better than he was last year in steals. And if he is, I am going to bring this entire league to the ground. Outside of maybe Cody, I'm still not sure. Jury's still out on that one.
Well, it seems like fate, and it's really unfortunate, but I love the pick for you.
Yeah. Next one was Brandon Ingram to Steven. I love this pick because Brandon Ingram is now on my team. He was going to be my pick. It was funny because I told you I was considering him for my pick.
You did.
And so I ended up getting Jimmy Butler and Brandon Ingram from the first round, and I can't be more excited about how that went. Steven, great pick there. I was excited.
Yeah, you now just have some monster wings.
Yeah, just look out. My wing play is insane. It may have been intentionally done. Next one is Chris Paul, who went to Kyle. Not a bad pick. My biggest thing, and what is interesting to me, is CP3 has only missed 3 games over the last 2 years. That is extremely interesting to me. And if you're a betting man and you're playing the odds, there's a good chance that CP3 might get injured this year. Or at least sits a little bit more. I'm not saying, and like I said, I'm not saying that he does 100%. We've seen, Vus do the same thing where he was injured all over the place and then just became a horse as far as reliability. But if I were a betting man, I might put it on CP3 getting injured instead of not getting injured.
Well, I'm not one to defend Kyle very often, but on a per-game value, I don't know that there was a better player left on the board. And at this point in the draft, where all the keepers are gone, and, we're at the end of essentially the 4th round of a draft.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good value for Chris Paul. Even if he gets injured a little bit this year, that's still a good spot to take Chris Paul.
Oh, absolutely. I won't shy away from that. That's absolutely right. That would be pick 46. So the fact total, including keepers. So the fact that Kyle was able to get CP3 there, there's no quorums with who was left on the board for me. I agree with that. I was just being cautious on this one. Next one is Tobias Harris from Neiman. I believe Neiman was auto-drafting or was in part of the draft or not in part of the draft. Either way, this was a reach for me. He is you know what you're going to get. He's a steady force. And with Neiman's keepers, like I said, Joker, Curry, things like that, I think he could have went more on the defensive side here from anywhere. From anywhere. Like, going Tobias Harris is just really leaning into field goal percentage, free throw percentage, threes, get you some rebounds, I guess. But it's very one-dimensional for me, and I think Neiman could have done a little bit more, or the auto draft could have done a little bit more for Neiman in this situation.
I don't hate it, I'll be honest. There are a couple guys on the board that I would have probably taken over Harris, but I actually think he's kind of a nice fit with Joker and with Curry. He's a good percentages guy. He gets threes, he gets points. Points are hard to get after after this round, it starts dropping hard on how many 20-point per game guys there are.
Sure.
And he gives some positional versatility. I actually think it's a pretty solid pick. I think it's a safe pick. But I might have gone a little higher upside. I just think he was a very safe pick at this spot, though. I don't hate it at all.
Yep, and like I said, I think he reached a little bit. That's not. I'm not saying I hate it. I'm just saying I think he could have done a little bit more. Last pick of the first round goes to Doug. He gets Lonzo, perfect pairing with Vooch. Perfect pick in my opinion for Doug. How everything fell down. Levine, and he has Levine. So he's got 3 of the Bulls. Steven is hoping that he picked the right Bull. I wonder if Doug's idea was to come into this draft and just get all the Bulls.
Man, it's an interesting strategy. But I agree, it's a pretty good pick. Yeah, I think it's a good pick for Doug's team. I like Lonzo more than a lot of people.
Yeah. 5th round, and as we go through these, like you and I talked about, we might just start naming them and not talk about every single one as we get deeper into this draft for sure. Starting off round 5 was Christian Wood to Matt. Matt had to auto draft, I believe, or he might have made 1 or 2 picks. I don't think so. I think he was all auto draft. So Christian Wood going here. I don't hate that pick at all. You know I love the Wood man. The fact that Wall's not there, they're going to grow and give him at least from where I'm standing, they should be trying to build a little bit around Christian Wood. Now, everybody else, and what I've been hearing is he's too old and they shouldn't, and they should give it to the younger guys. But I like Christian Wood here only because I like him in general.
Yeah, no, it's a good pick.
Next one was CJ McCollum to Steven.
It's fine.
It's fine. Not a lot to say other than Steven got himself into cap issues here. I think this is a place where if he was looking for what McCollum was dishing out, there's a lot more people on the board that he could have picked that were cheaper to get you McCollum numbers. But again, scoring. Next one is CJ, Kyle Lowry. I actually like Kyle Lowry. I don't think he's going to play as many.
Shocker.
Yeah. Well, I liked him. I liked him on the Raptors. Of course, if he comes to the Heat, I'm going to say that I like Kyle Lowry. Are you kidding me? That's funny as shit. Next one is Jakob Poeltl. Steven picked him. A little early for me here, but the centers are coming off the board early in all fantasy drafts that I've seen. And getting Poeltl at $5 was actually a good move for Steven's cap. He kind of falls off a little bit towards the end, but I don't hate this pick. It's fine. Yeah,
but it's a little early, like you said, but he was already in cap trouble.
The next 3 are CJ's picks. He goes with Nurkic, Collins, and Love. Collins
nailed 2 of
them. Collins is now with Doug because of cap issues. Kevin Love swinging a miss, baby. We are just winding him up.
Sorry, he's biting his sister. Yeah, Kevin Love was a tough pick.
In CJ's defense, I do want to say that he forgot his laptop at home. He didn't have his pick list. But he should have known not to draft Kevin Love here. There's no excuse for that. Nurkic, for me, I think Nurkic is going to have a big bounce back season. So I love this pick here. I tried to get him from CJ when CJ was in cap problems. But he was not budging on that one. But good pick there in the 5th round. It's either going to go really well or really bad. But I like the pick. Next one is going to be Karis LeVert. Goes to Matt again. Auto-drafted. Bad pick. Reach for me here. He's injured now. I am glad I don't have any Pacers players this year. I want no Pacers players. Maybe outside of Sabonis. I want no Pacers players because I just have no idea what's going on over there or in that system, and injuries are plaguing everyone.
I don't know. I'd buy in.
Next one is Jeremy Grant, who was taken by Kyle. For me, with the addition of Cade Cunningham and Grant's usage going down even further, this is a bit of a reach. But I could be wrong. I do like Grant. But a bit of a reach for me.
Yeah, a little early.
Next one is Phil. He has 2 picks here. He goes with Brogdon and Sexton. I don't mind either of these picks. Like I said, I want no Pacers players. So Brogdon was not on my radar. Thank goodness. He's having shoulder issues now. And that is not what you want. That is shoulders. No, thank you. I want nobody with a shoulder injury or a knee injury. Stay away from me. Jimmy Butler.
Sexton, I'm a little biased. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid out here in Ohio, and I'm buying in on Sexton.
Yeah, I mean, me too, and we'll get to it because I have Garland, so, it's going to be interesting to me who is the best fantasy player on the Cavs. Is it going to be Sexton? Is it going to be Garland? Is it going to be Mobley? Is it going to be Mobley?
Is it going to be Kevin Love? He was the first Cav to come off the board.
Next one is Kyle. Spencer Dinwiddie, back a 5th round. Reach for me. I think he's way overhyped. ESPN had him at 50-something.
And he's like $20 or something. He's not cheap.
Yeah, he was not cheap. End of the 5th round, again, pick 50. Pick 50, Joel Gibson. We are talking about pick 50 for Dinwiddie.
Tough.
Reach. Say it. Say reach. Thank you. Next one is CJ. Ricky Rubio for $2. CJ tried his best to stay under the cap somehow. He started out with LeBron, Westbrook, and who was his... Draymond. So he started out tight capped, and he then started having to pick cheap players, and he went with Rubio. Another Cav off the board. Best fantasy team in the league, according to our league right now, because all the Cavs are going.
Even the backup point guard.
Next.
I just want to fucking say, if I had picks in these rounds, I would have cleaned up. Just seeing the next few picks that are coming off in this board, or in this round, goddamn, if I'd even been in just this round, you motherfuckers would be in trouble.
Next 3 were Steven, and this is where he starts getting into cap trouble. Robert Williams from Boston, OG, obviously from Toronto, and Isaiah Stewart from Detroit. Those combined are like $60. So, man,
A lot of talent, though.
A lot of talent. Stewart, I think, is injured right now, or there's something going on. I think Robert Williams has been unimpressive in the preseason, in my opinion, but he still has a ton of leash. Like, he's going to get the minutes regardless, and even mid-season form, you could see a completely different Williams than you see right now. So I'm still not out on him. I like him, and like I said, pairing those centers with Greek, not a bad idea. I think that Steven is going to be a decent team this year, regardless of the cap issues.
Yeah. I think it's a good move to lean the other way and draft the other center in Boston. I think anyone who does that might have been kind of savvy, but Robert Williams could also turn out to be like a top 30 player.
Yeah.
I love some OG Anunoby, and Stewart did come back the other night, but if those shoulder injuries just want to linger, I know someone who would greatly benefit from that as well.
Next one is Miles Turner to Eric. Fine pick with me. Again, avoiding those Pacers, but if you want to lean heavy into the blocks, now's not a horrible time to go to Turner. The problem for me is, did Eric just decide to go straight defense? Like, he got Holiday, now he's getting Turner. Is he just loading up on defense? I'm not sure. But not a bad pick. I can't be upset.
Blocks are drying up.
Yeah. If you're going for centers, they're drying up quick. Now, next one is Harrell goes to Matt. Huge reach. I don't know what we're doing. Good old auto pick is screwing Matt O'Bear so hard. Yeah, that is rough. I do not want any part of Harrell this year. In fact, I don't want any part of Washington's front court at all. I have no idea what's going on out there.
Oh, I'm willing to take a gamble.
Next one is CJ. Eric Bledsoe. I'm not upset about this pick. Bledsoe was cheap. He's going to get minutes.
He's not good. I'm out.
He's going to get minutes, but with CJ's cap issues is what I'm saying. Him in this spot with his cap issues, I'm not 100% out on it. I don't know why he didn't take Halliburton for $2 more. We still got 4 or 5 picks before we get to Halliburton. And I know, I wanted him so bad. I talked to Doug the other day, and I don't think he's going to be upset with me saying this. He just responds back to me with, consider Halliburton untouchable. And I'm like, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I love his upside out there. And for $6, fucking sign me up. Sign me up, because he was huge on my list. And in fact, when we get there, we'll talk about it a little bit more. Next picks to Steven. Kevin Porter Jr., who he since traded to Kyle. Jonathan Isaac, who I anticipate he's going to drop to the wire. He made an interesting comment on the Messenger to watch the wire. I assume that it's Isaac that's going to come off his team, and somebody else they can bid on Isaac and see what happens. That's just my guess. Steven, I don't think, watches these videos anyway, so I'm fine with saying that here.
Yeah, Jonathan Isaac was... I like the KPJ pick, but I did not like the Isaac pick. There's a lot of risk there, and it's not a cheap guy.
Yeah.
He was already in cap hell.
Exactly, and getting rid of Kevin Porter Jr. for Jalen Green was basically trading like the A team for the B team. So Steven took a hit on those 2 picks because of his cap issues, and I anticipate doesn't have either one of those by the start of the season. Next is Adam. Adam took Terry Rozier here. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
I like it a lot. He's not LaMelo.
Yeah, for me, I think you're just... Yeah, he also has Melo, so it's even better for him. A lot of people like Terry Rozier more than I do.
Terry, baby.
I will admit some bias on that one. Next one is Buddy Hield going to Neiman. Again, I don't know if he was picking him or if it was auto pick, but for me, it's a reach. I don't know how much Buddy Hield even plays. If he gets low 20 minutes, he's a three-ball shooter and not necessarily a great one.
I don't hate it, actually.
You think he's going to get traded? If he gets traded, it could be a better pick than what I think it is right now. But at the end of the sixth, Joel, let me tell you some names that are still on the board here where Buddy Hield was picked before, okay? Siakam.
Oh, God, I just saw names on the board for the next round. Yeah.
Siakam, Halliburton, Edwards, Suggs, Garland, Cade Cunningham for upside, Hayward. Stop me when I get to one that you wouldn't take over Hield.
I take it back. You're right. Fuck Buddy Hield. He fits Neiman's team, but there's just better talent out there.
Absolutely. Next, Matt gets Siakam. I'm fine with this pick here at the end of the sixth round, and now we're hearing that Siakam might be back sooner. Great pick there. He's a top 35 player, healthy. So getting him at the end of the sixth round is going to be very beneficial for Matt's team moving forward. That was an auto pick, so we can't give credit to Matt for a good pick here. It was just auto pick to his team, but it's going to work out for him.
Yeah.
Next one is the start of the seventh round. Halliburton goes to Doug. For me, this was the steal of the draft. It's $6 at the start of the seventh round to get him. Now, there's a chance, I guess a small chance, that he's not everything that everybody says he's going to be, and it might be just an acceptable pick here for Doug. But I don't believe that whatsoever. I really like Halliburton. I think there's tremendous upside there. And it's really just a shame that Dynasty was not this year and Doug could draft Halliburton at $6 in Dynasty, because this would be an absolute gold mine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's even if he doesn't hit incredible upside, he's incredibly safe here.
Yep. And the value.
He does the exact same shit as last year.
Absolutely. And the value at $6, it lets Doug spend a little bit more money as well. Doug's team, he's definitely a contender for me this year. As he has been slowly moving up every year and showing that he's definitely a competitor in this league. And this was just a great example of it. Next one was Anthony Edwards to Neiman. I love this pick as well. Both of these picks, great value, great spot in the draft, and tremendous upside for both of them.
Yeah, I can't agree more.
Next one is Suggs for Orlando that went to Matt. He was auto-drafted. He's now been traded to Kyle for Valanciunas and Precious. It's fine. It was an auto. It's fine.
Yeah, he could. I mean, in a certain build, he's better than others.
Yes, 100%. Next one is Malik Beasley, who was taken by Steven. Ended up getting traded to me as part of that Ingram trade. I wanted no part of him. I dropped him to the wire. He's now on Adam's team, who had him last year and believed in him last year through the suspension. I hope he works out for you, Adam. I don't need any more threes and hollow score or hollow everything else. You can have as much hollow as you want. Take them.
Yeah, I think that's a swing and a miss by Steven, too. Could have found... There was value out there, even at $1.
Yep. Next pick is Garland. I love this pick because I picked it. He fits my team really well. I had a pretty straightforward build this year. And I love my team, and it worked out. And I think Garland's going to be a big part of that.
I hate you.
Next two were Derek White and Cade Cunningham go to Matt. Cunningham also going to Kyle. Basically 2 rookies for Val and Precious. I'm fine with those 2 picks. There's a lot of upside for Derek White, but I don't know that I would have spent that pick on Derek White. I'm souring on him just a little bit, and I was very pro him just like 2 weeks ago, but I am souring just a little bit.
I would have been happy with either of these guys in this spot.
Mm-hmm. Next, we've got Kyle has 3 picks. Hayward, Allen, and Russell. All 3 good picks. That's all I've really got to say about it. All 3 good picks, good build.
Yeah.
Kyle has a ton of cap because he had KD and AD for $2, and no third keeper spot. Next one is Kemba Walker goes to Phil. Solid. Moving on. Jaren Jackson Jr. rounds out the 7th. Goes to Steven. He's looked really good. I was just happy to kind of get rid of the injury risk with him during that trade. But the value there was incredible that I picked him up at. So I'm glad that I was able to turn that over for a little bit more. Next pick is Kyle getting Val. Now, he's with Matt. You'll notice that Val here at the start of the 8th was actually lower than both of Matt's rookies. But I think that Val finishes above both of Matt's rookies at the end of the year.
I think this actually might have been the steal of the draft. I think Kyle nailed this pick and then immediately blew it.
That seems so unlike him. I don't understand.
Everything you wanted to hear. Zion is injured. Fuck it.
I'll
just trade Jonas.
I would trade him for the upside, baby. I am going to trade him for 2 rookies.
Brutal.
Next, we've got Wiggins going to Phil, Drummond going to Kyle. Let's hope Embiid's injured all season, I guess, for Kyle on that one.
He nailed his last pick, and then he got Drummond. He's going to play, 10 minutes a night?
But what about those games that Embiid sits, Joel Gibson?
This is head-to-head.
Next one is Boucher goes to Adam. I don't know what's going on in that front court out there, but I'm fine with it.
If it works out, it's a great pick.
Exactly. Barrett goes to Eric. Wow, I like that little rhyme there. Fine with that pick. PJ Washington goes to Doug. Doug loves PJ Washington. That's a good pick. He had him last year. That's why I say it, on and off of Doug's team all the time. Marcus Smart goes to CJ. Here we go. Now, we've passed Collins. Now I want to talk about this. All right. Smart and Collins for Kyrie took place in this league. And Doug, like I said, being a contending team, probably got 2 top 50 players in exchange for Kyrie, who on a per-game basis is probably top 15. However, if he only plays half the season, he's not worth that at all. This was the trade of the season so far. I'll say that.
Yeah. Just a super savvy move by Doug. I couldn't agree more. Now, Kyrie is CJ's problem, and he's not a problem that I want any part of this year.
Absolutely not. And if you want my opinion, I say sit him the whole season, because then James Harden will be the number 1 player in fantasy yet again. And I know you might hate he's on my team, but I know you love seeing him at number 1.
Yeah, it's mixed emotions. I just wish he was on my team at number 1. I remember those days. The glory days.
Next 2 were your picks, Graham and Conley. Are you worried about Graham?
Well, let me just say one thing before we get there.
Okay.
I thought it was fate. Marcus Smart was so fucking close. So fucking close.
I knew you'd pick him. I knew that was going to be your pick. My heart fell for you when CJ took him.
Dude, just brutal. I've had him on my team, I think, 3 different seasons. I've always been a believer. I was crushed.
And now he's finally the starting point guard, and you miss him by 1 pick. That hurts.
I'm sorry, Maddie. That scared her. But, yeah, just that one really hurt.
Yep.
But so I am a little concerned about Graham. I kind of was drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit.
Yep.
I don't give a shit about field goal percentage this year. And we've seen him put up really high assist numbers, and he's just not afraid to bomb from 3. I think there's a strong chance that he's just shaking off the rust, figuring out the system. They paid this man to come here.
Yeah.
They paid him a pretty penny.
Yeah.
They want him to play. So
he needs to get better. If he wants to play on this team with Zion being out and Val being the starting center, he needs to get better at the pick and roll, man. I don't understand. Like, being a point guard, I legitimately cannot remember someone that was ranked so highly be so bad at the pick and roll. It is terrible. And then on the other side of it, you've got him just jacking shots everywhere. Just everywhere, and that's fine. He fits your build. I'm excited about that. But when I look at point guards, you know me, I look at one thing. I look at passing first. That's what I look at, and then I go from there. And so for me, I am so far out on Graham that I'm not even sure you can see me on the horizon on Graham.
Yeah, I'll say if it hits, it's a great move. I have to take at this point. With this being my first 2 picks in the draft, it has to be upside players. I can't take any just safe guys. I have to go for the upside every single time.
Yep.
And his upside is pretty fucking high if it works out. There's also a strong chance he ends up on the wire, but that's just how it goes. As for the Mike Conley pick, he crushes this value on a per game basis. I mean, there's a chance that he's a top 40, top 50 player this year. Strong chance that he's not, but he very well could be. And as long as he stays healthy, I love the pick.
Do you know who I would have taken instead of Graham for you?
Who?
Tyler Hero. And we're not even to that point yet. He's going to be 6th man of the year. He's going to be 1-2 with Jordan Clarkson as 6th man of the year. You heard it here first. This kid plays better with a chip on his shoulder, and all he heard last season was how bad he was compared to the bubble, right? Everybody, even I was disappointed in him last year. He's got Kyle Lowry there to take him under his wing. Him and Jimmy Butler, 2 of the hardest veterans to probably play with as far as, like, they will eat you. They are dogs, right? They may be able to actually make his defense better. And if that's the case, if he's coming off the bench and scoring like he can, he is a very, very high on my list for 6th man of the year. Like I said, I think it's Clarkson, him, 1-2, right now at the start of the season. I like his passing way more than Graham. His efficiency is better. And like I said, those defensive numbers could actually come. But we'll move on. When we get to Hero, you can comment on Hero. Next one was Covington to Cody. Cody.
Love the pick.
Love the pick for Cody's team. Cole Anthony goes to Kyle. Hate the pick as well. I have Fultz on my IR, so I'm definitely a little biased here. You know I like Fultz more than the average Joe. However, Kyle now getting Suggs doesn't make this pick as bad for me.
I disagree. It's just an awful pick.
Next pick is Doug Miles Bridges.
Not
Miles, the other one.
McHale.
Thank you, McHale. I'm okay with the pick here. He was like $6.
I love the pick.
I love the pick as well for Doug. Doug may have the best draft when we look back at the end of the season, as far as players and where they finish as far as fantasy goes. I'm not sure. I'd like to say that I do, but or Cody obviously is in there, but Doug is just very solid at drafting. Next one. Now this is round 9, so we're just going to try to buzz through these a little bit. It's gone a little bit longer than I'm sure we've wanted. Doug starts out with Keldon Johnson. Let's see. Neiman, NAW, Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Kyle. Solid. I do like it there. Kyle, Jalen Green, who he traded for KPJ, so I don't hate that pick. Powell for me, just a lot of scoring, fits my team. You draft Al Horford here. You think this is a savvy pick after me. Now let me just, were you going center the whole time? I just don't, I don't know what your plan was exactly.
So I was looking for big men that would get me assists. I just love Big Al. I've always been a fan. I think his fantasy game is super underrated. At this point, man, it's tough to find value. But he is a starting center. I think that even as a Celtics fan, I think we might be a little underwhelmed by Robert Williams this year. And having Al Horford as a steady presence on a very competitive Celtics team,
yeah,
he's going to play a big role. And I just love that he was still here.
Excellent. And just so you know, your forehead is cut off on the picture. It looks like you have no eyes.
Let's see if I can back it up. I had to plug my phone in.
All right, well,
I had to turn my phone.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to go through these picks. Doug McDermott for CJ, I don't know. No. Even at $1, no. Zubac for Matt, I like the pick there. And I also now have him on my team, so I'm fine with it either way. Next one is Wendell Carter Jr. for Eric. Like the pick, although Mo Bamba this year, who is now on my team, might just lead the league in blocks the way he's going. And let me tell you, I am along for the ride, baby. Give me some Mo Bamba. Let's do it. Next pick, Eric, Tyler Hero. Good pick here. I like it, Joel Gibson. What do you say about my analysis?
That's a fine pick. It's a fine pick here. I don't like him more than Graham. Graham is a starting point guard, and Hero just has guys ahead of him, several guys ahead of him in the pecking order. But at this point, it's a really good upside swing. Yeah.
6th man of the year, maybe.
Very possibly.
Dragic goes to CJ. This is a pick that I don't know. Like he ended up dropping him anyway. But I'm just on that one. Thad Young goes to Phil. I don't know why we picked Thad Young. I'm not sure if Thad Young's even a Spur this year.
I don't know that he was at training camp.
Yeah, so I'm just not sure where that was coming from, but hey, you know, we all make mistakes, Phil. Welcome to the league. Next one is Gafford to Joel Gibson. In the end, I told you before I want no part of that Washington front court. I don't like it, but hey, go for it, bro.
Per minute monster. If he hits, dude, I might just fucking win blocks this year.
Next round, Miles Bridges that I drafted. I traded him to Matt for Zubac. So, have fun, Matt. Next,
I would have gone off that immediately too.
Schroeder goes to Phil. Okay, fine. taking the risk, I guess. Still a little early for me, but, late. Mobley goes to Modest. Let's go. Evan Mobley is going to be the second best, maybe third, probably third best Cavs fantasy player this year, and they are just going to feed him. He is out there. He's looked great in preseason, and he's only going to get better. I liked him when he played for USC. I think that I even told Eric and Cody that night they came over to Ant's house. We were watching a USC game. I think it was March Madness. We were watching a USC game, and I told them I loved Mobley back then. And what do? I go out and draft that bitch this year. I am a man of my word, Joel Gibson.
Yeah. You're not worried about old Lowry Markkinen?
No, I'm not worried about Lowry Markkinen, Kevin Love. I'm not worried about Allen. I don't know why they wasted the money.
Yeah, I love him too.
Yeah. Next one, Dylan Brooks to Adam. He's injured for a few weeks. Bogdan goes to Eric. I like that there.
I love this pick. I'm actually super pissed that I didn't pick him up earlier.
Yeah, he was very close to you, and I would have much rather had him over Kyle Anderson, who we'll get to in a minute, Joel Gibson. Reggie Jackson goes to Matt. I'm fine with Reggie Jackson starting point guard out there. It's not like Bledsoe's a huge guy that's going to eat his minutes. Kyle Anderson and Josh Richardson go to Joel Gibson as two of his 4 picks. Neither one of these are on your team now. Next one is Kelly O, still on your team. Good start.
Yeah!
Josh Giddey, I think was a really good pick by you. I was targeting Giddey. I was hoping he was going to go later than that. But good pick there. Harrison Barnes to Neiman. I don't hate Harrison Barnes at the end of the 10th round, which would actually be the end of the 13th round. It was the end of the 10th round. I have these numbered included. Yeah, end of the 10th round. So I like Harrison Barnes there regardless. Mason Plumlee to Doug. Again, another solid pick here at the end of the 10th round. Doug continues to impress. Then he follows it up with Aaron Gordon from Denver. Probably Doug's worst pick. I want no part of Aaron Gordon. Tim Hardaway to Neiman.
Hate it.
Are you sure? Are you just...
Hate it.
Are you thinking that he's going to get more minutes because, Michael Porter Jr.'s not going to play as much? Or I just don't...
I just don't think he got to be acclimated to that system as much as he will this year, where he's going to have a training camp. I kind of liked his chemistry with Jokic. I think there could be a little bit more playmaking this year for him with Jamal Murray not there.
All right.
They might just run a little bit more for him, and I don't know. I've just always kind of liked Gordon. But continue.
All right. Tim Hardaway Jr. goes to Neiman. I think Neiman's had Tim Hardaway Jr. on his team for the past 5 years. I feel like he has him every year.
He's what Marcus Smart has been to me all these years, goddammit.
Right. Kyle Kuzma to Cody. I don't believe Kuzma is on his team anymore. I think Cody dropped him, and now he's on Adam's team, I think. Scotty Barnes goes to Phil. Again, that Toronto front court is nuts. I think Scotty Barnes is going to be good long term. Is he this year? We'll find out. Killian Hayes for you. Big old bust. Big old bust. I could call it already. Big old bust.
Wait.
Hernan Gomez to CJ. He was just throwing darts at this point for $1. Clay to Matt. Again, auto-drafted. I don't know that I want Clay on my team this year, but of course Matt has him on his team. Markkinen to Eric. Sorry, Eric. Wrong Cav to pick. Clarkson.
All the good Cavs are gone.
Clarkson to Adam. This is not a bad pick here, in my opinion.
It's just not bad.
Yeah, exactly. DiVincenzo to Neiman. He's injured. I don't know what we were doing with that one. even when he comes back, I'm not sure. Like, I can count 3, 4 people ahead of him in the pecking order, at least.
He's a wire player.
Yes, he is a wire player. We're getting into the nitty-gritty back here. Sadiq Bey goes to Phil. Oh, okay. Fournier, whatever you want to say, is on my team. Was on my team. I drafted him. And then I traded him to Steven. I liked him more than I let on when I was trading him with Steven. I think he's going to be good in New York, actually. A veteran that will just get all the minutes and,
They need half-court offense.
Yes. Yeah. So I think he's going to be solid. I would not get rid of him if I were Steven. I think he's going to be solid. I also got Will Barton next. I think that was a steal at the end, or the start of the 12th round. A steal. I think he's going to be top 75 possibly. Maybe top 100. Next 2 picks were Phil, Ingles, and Lopez. Okay, fine. Bagley goes to Adam. I'm not sure how much Bagley plays this year. I'm officially out on Bagley. He burned me. I was way high on him like 3 years ago, and I'm officially done with him. I'm out. Roby goes to Cody. Not a bad pick there late at all. TJ McConnell goes to Eric. I'm a little more out on him, although I will say with Brogdon and all these injury issues, he could be good at least at the start of the season. Talon Horton-Tucker goes to Adam. Mitch Robinson back to Joel Gibson.
Yeah!
Just ready to get hurt again, my friend.
Anything's possible!
Justin Holiday to Cody. I don't hate this pick, especially with the injuries going on out there now. Seth Curry to Eric. I think that I'm not sure what's going on in Philly. Daniel Teese to Neiman. Okay, fine. Sangoon is going to be starting over him eventually anyway. Blake Griffin goes to Doug. Not a bad pick at the 12th round. Somebody's got to play. Although I have Aldridge now on my team, so Doug and I are kind of going head to head on Nets power forwards. Huh?
I feel like they're more centers in real life than power forwards.
Yeah, you're probably right. Last round here, Marcus Morris goes to Doug. Don't hate it. Brandon Clark is now on the wire from Neiman. DeLon Wright goes to Adam. Okay. Whiteside goes to Neiman. He clearly picked him up probably on name alone. Or he could have been auto-drafted as well. Larry Nance I drafted and then dropped. I thought they were going to use him more in Portland. It's very clear. He got like 15 minutes in preseason, for Pete's sakes. Dropped him hard, okay? Now, if like Covington gets injured or something like that, he might be a pickup. There's some free advice for all you that actually stayed and watched this whole video. Sangoon is now on Adam's team. I love his upside. I drafted him, obviously. I dropped him, neither here nor there. I also have Mo Bamba, so I've traded up in my upside center department. Derrick Rose and Basley go to Eric. Rolling the dice on Basley. He was way overhyped last year and then was a wire player, I think, at the end of the year. But you never know. Kelly Oubre goes to Adam. And Poku was drafted by Cody. He's now on your team because Cody picked up Kyle Anderson, who you dropped, and now you have Pokuševski.
Yeah!
Just a tall, lanky-looking bastard.
What's that?
I said a tall, lanky-looking bastard.
I told you, my team is all upside.
Boggy Bog was actually dropped by Eric for Beasley. You know what? I am interested a little bit, and I know this is the end and we're almost done, but Bog versus Beasley, who's going to be the better player at the end of the year? I'm going Bog. I'm not going Beasley, so
Yeah.
I think he kind of traded down in this hit.
I think so too.
And last pick of the draft was Doug, and he got DeAndre Hunter. Okay. Last pick. Who cares?
Yeah. Could be good.
Wrapping it up. That's it. We covered all the trades as well and all the activity that's gone on. Really, really exciting video, and it only took us 55 and a half minutes.
And we are roaring again.
I know. I am just ready to talk about NBA. If anybody wants to talk NBA and wants to waste an hour of their life, give me a call. I'll do it a full hour. We'll go through the draft list again for all I care. I am pumped that we're back, and we've got one more video to come for you guys. Week 1 previews, power rankings. I've done them. The champ is back. The commissioner's back.
I just want to tell you something
Oh, God.
while I got you on the horn.
Okay.
I think, yeah, bitch, I am invested in Bogdan Bogdanovic. I bought in hard today.
Yeah, you got him. That a boy. Woo!
He is my least upside player, but he can score 20 points a game.
That was so smart. I actually really like that ad for you. Who'd you drop?
Tyrese Maxey.
Yep. $3, Joel Gibson. $3.
I gotta come in hot, brother.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, man. That's not the first time.
I know my first few weeks I am probably not going to win because a lot of these guys are young. Odin, damn it. He's sitting on my court. But I need some steadiness.
You've already spent $9, Joel. The season hasn't even started yet. I love it. We are out here spending money. I love it.
I feel exactly how you felt 2 years ago.
I know, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. No, that was last year. Oh no, you mean my tank season? Because that was brutal. I don't know if you really feel my pain from my tank season. I really don't know. So that was actually 4 years ago because it went tank season, championship, mid-round that I finished Final Four. Like my first pick was in the mid-rounds. I finished Final Four, and now this year.
Dude, I'm so pumped that I got him. I had to go high. I needed someone else that could score 20.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
I also needed a small forward desperately. I only had Tatum.
All right, well, let's end this one, and then we'll get started on the second one. How about that?
All right, so we're ending video, or are we just making it one big?
No, well, we can make it one big video if you want to. Live action here. No, let's end it, because then people that want to watch the preview show can just start instead of, like, fast-forwarding through the entire draft.
Perfect.
We also got to figure out how to get the top of your head into the next video. Because I have only seen your mouth for like 20 minutes. Anyway, bye guys. We'll see you in the next video. Draft recap this year. Thanks, Joel Gibson.
Adios.